Angel Reese is at the bottom of the pick and roll shot attempts list.
Angel Reese just went from hero to headline for all the wrong reasons. A 20-rebound night should have made her the star, but instead, one missed free throw turned Chicago Sky's season into chaos. Fans are furious.
She gets a double-double. Y'all out here celebrating this? I'd be embarrassed as a mother bleeper.
The coach is under fire, and the Caitlin Clark comparisons won't stop. So what really happened, and is Angel Reese being exposed? The moment was set. The Chicago Sky had battled their way back, the crowd buzzing, the energy inside the arena electric. Angel Reese, the so-called face of the franchise, stepped up to the free throw line with everything on the line. One make could have shifted the momentum, cut the lead, and given the Sky a fighting chance against Phoenix. Instead, silence. The ball clanged off the rim, the chance evaporated, and in that instant, the air was sucked out of the building. This wasn't just a missed free throw. It was a gut punch to Sky fans who had been holding their breath, praying for a miracle. The kind of miss that doesn't just end a game, but ignites a storm. And oh, did the storm come. Within minutes, social media exploded. Twitter threads lit up like wildfire. Clips of Reese's choke went viral faster than any highlight she had produced that night. And suddenly, the conversation shifted from her 15 points and 20 rebounds to one brutal question. Is Angel Reese actually holding this team back? Chicago fans didn't just vent frustration. They demanded answers.
Angel Reese has made her triumphant return from a back injury. That's right. A back injury.
The target, assistant coach Tyler Marsh. In their eyes, he was the scapegoat, the man whose play calling sabotaged Reese, the reason their supposed star failed in crunch time. Forget that Reese had the ball in her hands. Forget that she had opportunities. According to Sky Twitter, this wasn't her fault. It was the system. The meltdown felt bigger than a single possession. It became a symbol of something deeper, a franchise stumbling, a player cracking under pressure, and a fan base desperately searching for excuses. And the timing couldn't be worse, because while Angel Reese was fumbling free throws, her rival Caitlin Clark was rewriting record books, selling out arenas, and proving herself on the biggest stage. For Sky fans, the pain wasn't just about losing a game, it was about losing faith in their star. And in sports, there's nothing more dangerous than doubt. The buzzer hadn't even finished echoing through the arena before the finger-pointing began. Chicago Sky fans weren't just upset, they were in full meltdown mode. One side blamed Angel Reese for choking in crunch time. The other side rushed to defend her, hurling every excuse imaginable like confetti at a parade.
Opinion that she's just not getting that play called for her. It's not something that the team is running. Pick and rolls for Angel is not happening. And
suddenly, the blame carousel was spinning out of control. First up on the chopping block, Coach Tyler Marsh. According to furious fans, this wasn't Angel's fault at all, no. It was the genius on the sidelines who apparently couldn't draw up a single play to put Reese in position to succeed. Social media threads painted him as the villain, as if he had personally tied Reese's shoelaces together before the final possession. Fans swore he sabotaged her by refusing to call enough pick and rolls, ignoring her strengths, and failing to build entire offense around her. But the excuses didn't stop there. Some blamed teammates for not feeding her the ball in the right spots. Others cried referee bias, claiming the whistles were rigged, the game was stacked, and the league itself wanted Reese to fail. It was no longer a loss, it was a conspiracy theory. And here's the irony. The louder the excuses got, the worse Reese's performance looked. Because at the end of the day, none of the spin can erase what everyone saw with their own eyes. The ball in her hands, the free throw clanging off the rim, and the opportunity slipping away. This wasn't just a basketball game anymore. It was a courtroom drama, with fans acting as lawyers, spinning wild defenses to protect their star from the obvious truth. But the more they defended her, the more fragile she appeared. Instead of looking like a warrior who had a bad night, Angel Reese began to look like a player who couldn't handle the pressure without a safety net of excuses. Meanwhile, across the league, Caitlin Clark didn't need excuses. Her highlights spoke for themselves. Her wins spoke for themselves. And for Angel Reese, that comparison cut deeper than any missed free throw ever could. For Angel Reese, every mistake doesn't just belong to her. It becomes fuel for the never-ending comparison to Caitlin Clark. It's like the league itself has drawn a giant spotlight, and no matter what Reese does, Clark's shadow looms over it. Think about it. While Reese was fumbling free throws in Phoenix, Caitlin Clark was out there draining logo threes, selling out arenas, and breaking attendance records like it was nothing. Clark doesn't just play basketball, she creates viral moments. She turns games into must-see TV. ESPN literally shifts schedules for her. Teams relocate to bigger arenas just to hold the crowd she draws. That's not hype, that's power, that's proof. Meanwhile, Angel Reese's viral moment was a missed free throw that sent her team spiraling. Side by side, the contrast is brutal. One rewriting history, the other rewriting excuses. One filling arenas, the other filling Twitter threads with conspiracy theories. It's not just unfair, it's devastating. And fans feel it. You can hear it in their voices, see it in their comments. Every time Reese falters, the narrative sharpens. She's not Clark. Every double-double Reese posts gets picked apart. Sure, she can rebound. Sure, she can hustle. But where are the clutch moments? Where are the highlights that change games, not just stat sheets? This isn't just a rivalry on paper. It's psychological warfare. Caitlin Clark has become the measuring stick for the entire WNBA, and Angel Reese is stuck being measured against perfection. And right now, she's coming up short. That's the cruel reality. Reese isn't scrub. She's not a fraud. She's a good player. But in this league, good isn't enough. Not when Clark is redefining greatness in real time. Until Reese proves she can deliver when the lights are brightest, she'll remain trapped in Clark's shadow, remembered not for her strengths, but for the moments she couldn't rise. When reality doesn't look flattering, there's always one escape route: fake numbers. And Angel Reese's fanbase has turned inflating stats into an Olympic sport. The second Reese has a rough night, suddenly Twitter transforms into a carnival of cooked-up, record-breaking claims. According to Sky fans, the WNBA isn't just growing. It's apparently bigger than the NFL, Taylor Swift, and the moon landing combined. Every clip view, every accidental scroll past an Instagram highlight somehow gets counted as part of Reese's massive impact. If someone blinked while her game was on TV, yep, that's another viewer. But peel back the layers, and it's comedy. Half the seats at these so-called sellouts are giveaways. The record ratings are often compared to random cable time slots with no competition. The fine print always tells a different story, but by then, the spin machine is already in overdrive. And here's the kicker: this kind of hype doesn't actually help Reese. It hurts her, because while her fans are busy propping her up with smoke and mirrors, Caitlin Clark doesn't need smoke. She doesn't need mirrors. Her numbers are real. Teams are literally moving games to bigger arenas when she visits because demand is overflowing. Ticket resale prices skyrocket. ESPN ratings spike every time she takes the floor. That's not fan fiction. That's measurable, undeniable impact. So when Reese's camp plays the numbers game, it doesn't make her look like a star. It makes her look like a player who needs inflated stats to keep up. Like a marathon runner showing off a forged participation medal while the real winner is still running laps around the stadium. And fans notice. They're not blind. The endless spin, the cooked-up ratings, the "we're bigger than ever" narratives, it all screams desperation. Instead of proving Reese belongs in the same conversation as Clark, it makes her look like she can't stand on her own without the crutch of fake numbers. Because at the end of the day, the scoreboard doesn't lie, and neither do empty seats. When all else fails, there's always one last card to play, the conspiracy card. And Sky fans didn't just play it, they slammed it on the table like it was a royal flush. The narrative shifted fast. Suddenly, Angel Reese's missed free throw wasn't on her, it was on the referees. According to this new script, every whistle was biased, every call was rigged, and the league itself was secretly plotting to make Reese look bad. Why? To prop up Caitlin Clark, of course. Because nothing screams rational debate like believing the entire WNBA is running a shadow operation just to make your favorite player miss a layup. And it didn't stop with the refs. The carousel kept spinning. One day it was the coach, the next it was the system, then the teammates, then the broadcasters. If you believe Sky Twitter, everyone was guilty. Everyone except Reese herself. She wasn't a player having a bad night. She was a victim in a grand basketball conspiracy. It would almost be funny if it wasn't so tragic, because the more wild the excuses get, the weaker Reese looks. Instead of fans admitting, yeah, she choked, she'll bounce back, they build a wall of denial around her. But that wall doesn't protect her, it traps her. It makes her look fragile, like she can't stand up to criticism, like she needs an army of excuses just to survive. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark doesn't need excuses. Nobody's crying about refs when she drills a logo 3. Nobody's blaming systems when she carries her team to wins. Her fans don't have to invent conspiracies because the proof is right there on the court. And that's the difference. While Reese's defenders are busy writing fan fiction about referee bias and coaching sabotage, Clark is writing her name into the history books. One player is battling ghosts, the other is building a legacy. At some point, Sky fans will have to face reality. The league isn't out to get Angel Reese. The only person stopping her is Angel Reese. Angel Reese's struggles aren't happening in a vacuum. They're happening inside a franchise that looks completely lost. The Chicago Sky aren't just dropping games. They're unraveling, and you can see it every time they step on the floor. From the opening tip, this team doesn't look locked in. There's no identity, no urgency, no clear direction. Players look mentally checked out, drifting through possessions like it doesn't matter what the coach is saying. And maybe it doesn't, because half the time, it feels like they're not even listening. Tyler Marsh could be shouting out a game plan, but on the court, it's chaos. No roles, no structure, just 5 players winging it like a pickup game at the local gym. And that's the scary part. This isn't a rebuild. This isn't a learning year. This is supposed to be a team with talent, veterans, and a rising star in Angel Reese. Instead, they look like an organization stuck in quicksand, sinking deeper with every game. Fans were promised growth after Teresa Weatherspoon's firing. They were promised accountability. Instead, all they've gotten is more controversy, more finger-pointing, and more losses. The numbers don't lie. Even when Reese posts her trademark double-doubles, the Sky are still getting blown out. At one point, they were over 15 games under .500 when she recorded a double-double, a stat so brutal it almost feels like parody. It's proof that pretty box scores don't translate into wins, not when the team itself is fractured. And the atmosphere? Toxic. Every loss breeds more excuses, more infighting, more blame. The fan base isn't rallying, it's splintering. Some defend Reese no matter what. Others are ready to move on. Everyone's frustrated, and that frustration is turning into apathy. The truth is, the Chicago Sky don't just need a new playbook, they need a new heartbeat. Because right now, this isn't isn't a team chasing wins, it's a franchise stumbling toward irrelevance. And unless something changes fast, Angel Reese won't just be remembered for her missed free throws, she'll be remembered as the face of a franchise in freefall. Here's the part that hurts the most. Angel Reese doesn't even need all these excuses. She's not a scrub. She's not a fraud. She's a good player. Strong, gritty, relentless on the glass. She brings energy. She hustles. She plays with fire. But the endless spin around her, that's what's crushing her reputation. Because every time she misses a big shot or cracks under pressure, instead of saying, bad night, she'll bounce back. Fans launch into full-on defense lawyer mode. It's the coach. It's the refs. It's the system. It's the teammates. It's anything except the obvious truth. Sometimes players just mess up. And that's the irony. The more her fans shield her from blame, the weaker she looks. Instead of appearing as a tough competitor who can take criticism and grow from it, she starts to look fragile, like she needs to be wrapped in bubble wrap and protected from reality. And that's not what stars are made of. Look across the league. Caitlin Clark doesn't have excuses. She doesn't need them. If she has a rough game, the response isn't 1,000 Twitter threads about referee conspiracies. It's, she'll be back next game. Why? Because her game speaks louder than her fans. Angel Reese deserves the same chance, but the non-stop excuse-making steals it from her. It paints her as a player who can't stand on her own, as if her accomplishments only matter when framed in comparison to Clark or propped up by fake numbers. And that's not fair to her, because here's the truth. Angel Reese has the talent to shine. She has the tools to grow. But until she owns her mistakes and proves she can rise in the biggest moments, she won't be defined by her rebounds or her hustle. She'll be defined by the excuses that follow her everywhere she goes. And in sports, that's the one label you never want, the star who always needs saving. The truth is, this isn't just about Angel Reese. It's not even just about the Chicago Sky. It's about the WNBA itself and how two players, Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark, have become the heartbeat of every conversation. Every highlight, every meltdown, every viral clip somehow circles back to them. Reese misses free throws. It's compared to Clark's logo threes. Clark breaks attendance records. Fans rush to inflate Reese's numbers just to keep pace. It's a tug of war for the soul of the league. And right now, it's not even close. Clark is delivering moments that define an era. She's selling out arenas, dragging ratings out of the basement, and forcing national sports shows to finally talk about the WNBA like it matters. She's not just raising her profile, she's lifting the entire league. Her impact is measurable, tangible, undeniable. Meanwhile, Reese is stuck on the other side of the split screen. Instead of defining games with dominance, she's defining games with drama. Instead of headlines about victories, it's headlines about excuses. Instead of being celebrated for her grit, she's being mocked for meltdowns. And the league feels that contrast. Broadcasters know which games to push. Networks know which highlights will trend. Fans know which player moves the needle. That's why arenas are relocating games for Clark, not for Reese. That's why ESPN ratings spike when Clark's on the floor, not when Reese puts up another double-double in a loss. The rivalry is shaping everything, but it's lopsided. One player is carving a path to superstardom. The other is clinging to narratives that make her look smaller with every passing game. And if Angel Reese doesn't flip that script soon, she risks being remembered not as Caitlin Clark's rival, but as Caitlin Clark's foil. Because in sports, rivalries only matter when both sides can carry the weight. Right now, Clark is carrying the lead. And Reese, she's carrying excuses. At the end of the day, basketball is brutally simple. The scoreboard doesn't care about Twitter threads. The highlight reel doesn't care about excuses. And the league doesn't hand out trophies for almost. When the lights are brightest, you either deliver or you don't. For Angel Reese, that's the crossroads she's standing at right now. The double-doubles are nice. The hustle is admirable. But none of it means anything if she can't show up when it matters most. Because fans don't remember the rebounds you grabbed in the second quarter. They remember the free throw you missed with the game on the line. That's the harsh truth. Sports are unforgiving. You can dominate for 39 minutes and throw it all away in the 40th. And once the narrative sets in, once people start to believe you crack under pressure, it sticks. And no amount of spin can erase it. That's why the endless excuses swirling around Reese are dangerous. They don't protect her. They chain her to her lowest moments. Every time someone blames the coach or the refs, it reinforces the idea that Reese isn't strong enough to own her mistakes. It makes her look smaller, not bigger. Fragile, not fierce. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark is proving the opposite. She's showing that when the pressure hits, she thrives. She doesn't need excuses because her game does the talking. Her threes shut down arguments. Her wins silenced out. And that's the gap between the two right now. One player chasing greatness, the other running from accountability. Angel Reese has the talent. She has the charisma. She has the spotlight. But the question is, will she rise in it or will she keep letting the excuses swallow her whole? Because the clock is ticking. And in this league, the lights never dim. Angel Reese is at a crossroads. On one side, she's got the hustle, the size, the personality, all the raw ingredients of a star. On the other side, she's got the weight of excuses, the shadow of Caitlin Clark, and a growing reputation for folding when it matters most. Which side wins out? That's the story yet to be written. The Chicago Sky are crumbling. The fan base is divided, and the league itself is shifting around her. Every mistake is magnified, every success debated, every narrative weaponized. And Reese is stuck in the middle, caught between being the player she is and the superstar her fans desperately want her her to be. But here's the truth. No Twitter thread, no inflated statistic, no conspiracy theory will save her. The only thing that can rewrite this story is performance. Delivering in crunch time, owning the spotlight instead of fumbling it, proving when the game is on the line that she's more than just a stat sheet and a PR machine. Because right now, Caitlin Clark isn't just winning games, she's winning the narrative. She's proving herself every night in real time with no excuses needed. She's building a legacy brick by brick, highlight by highlight, win by win. And that's why the league is revolving around her. For Angel Reese, the choice is simple but brutal. Rise or be forgotten. Step into the spotlight and silence the critics, or keep letting excuses drown out her talent. The future of her career and her place in the WNBA story depends on which path she chooses. Because in sports, legacies aren't built on almosts. They're built on moments. And Angel Reese's next moment will define everything. So the question isn't whether she can rebound or hustle or scrap her way to another double-double. We already know she can do that. The real question is this: when the lights are brightest, will Angel Reese finally deliver? Or will she let the excuses write her legacy for her? Only time and her performance will tell.